Are you tired of going on holiday and losing all the progress you've done in your sport or in the gym throughout the whole year? If so, this video is for you. My name is Sebastian Moody and I am an absolute physical exercise enthusiast. My foundation is going to the gym, but I love all sorts of sports. Rock climbing, swimming, diving, you name it. I love doing all sorts of stuff. And the truth is, when I go on holiday, especially if it's at least a week-long holiday or more, and I'm not able to maintain any of my normal exercise regime, honestly, I just don't love the experience as much. I'm not able to switch off, because exercise is a part of my identity. And if you're watching this video, I'm sure it's a part of your identity as well. So please give this video a thumbs up for exercise. Here's how we're going to attack the problem. First of all, you need to do some research. You obviously can arrive at your destination and have a look at what is around or search on Google Maps, but you're going to be stressed during your holiday. You're going to be with this worry on your mind of how am I going to get my exercise routine in when you should actually be enjoying your holiday. So pre-planning all of this research is actually very important so that you can actually devote most time to leisure when you are on your holiday. My suggestion, obviously, start by researching around your lodging, your hotel, your Airbnb, you name it. Now, I'm going to use gyms a lot as an example because that's mostly what I research, but you can use this logic for any given sport, be it an MMA gym, a bouldering center, a swimming center, whatever you want. I would start by zooming pretty close into the location where you're going to be staying on Google Maps. And then I would search for gyms around that area. Then I would just start clicking the pins, having a look, seeing, I don't know, does this look like a place where I would like to work out at? Is it close enough to my destination? Is it close enough to my accommodation where I could easily wake up, go and train, come back, and then get ready for my day? Or would I lose a lot of time commuting? Because that's a big concern. So that would be step one. After you've filtered out the main possible locations, I think it's time to dig deeper. Start clicking some links, have a look at the websites and see if you can find any conditions, because a lot of these places, especially gyms, they do talk about memberships, but they do not always advertise, for example, a day pass or a weekly membership. And that's very important because you're only going to be there for a very short period of time, so you don't want to be paying a full month membership. If you're lucky, you're going to have this information available on the website's page. If you're unlucky, like I am, a lot of the times, you need to go deeper. So what is my advice? Start looking at the contacts. You can send a message on Instagram or you can email them and you can ask, okay, what is your daily rate? Or do you have a weekly rate? Something like that. Usually they do get back to you and you can then make your assessment of the situation, understand if that is a reasonable price that you want to pay for you to maintain your activity or not. Now, here is a caveat. A lot of the times, gyms which you will find on Google are going to be very big chains. This also goes for swimming gyms, MMA gyms, all of that stuff. Usually they are big chains. And the problem with these is that they are not very flexible. So if they don't offer weekly passes, they're most likely not going to be able to create one for you, and they're just going to charge you for several day passes, and that can end up being quite costly. Plus, these big chains and health centers and stuff, they are usually pretty expensive to start with. So here is my second piece of advice within the first piece of advice. Try and find family-run businesses or small businesses, because these usually will appreciate any business that comes to them, and it will be far more likely that you can actually connect with the owner of the place and ask them, look, I'm going to be here for a few days, I'd love to train, your gym looks amazing, so is there any way that we could accommodate me training here for a week? Could you please make a special price for me? Guys, this has happened to me numerous times, especially in England. There was this gym close to my grandparents' house which is called Old Ironworks Gym, and they did not do any weekly passes at the time when I first started going there, and they literally charged me £10 for a week of training. That was absolutely incredible. I mean, I didn't spend a lot of money, I was able to get my routine in, plus it's an amazing gym. So big shout out to Old Ironworks in Malden. Even though they're not as cheap now, they're still an amazing gym, and I'm always well received when I go there. Now, the second way that you can go about it, instead of researching around your lodging, you can research around your points of interest. So let's say you're going to do a beach type of holiday. you might want to research gyms or activities that are close to beaches where you know that you're going to go to a lot. For example, if you only have one main beach relatively close to your lodging, or the main attraction beach where you know you're going to want to go. For example, in Crete, a very widely known beach where I knew that I was going to go was Falasana Beach or Elafonisi Beach. So these were two big points of interest where I knew that I could research around and I could find a gym or find an activity where I wanted to go to, and it would make sense in my travels. Also, if you've already been to Greece and you loved it, please let me know down in the comments. Honestly, I think it's my favorite place in Europe. Absolutely love Greece, so shout out to all the Greek people watching. I do understand that if you research a sports activity relatively close to a point of interest, you have all of the showering logistics. Think of it this way. If you're in the summer, chances are you might be able to get some outdoor showers to get by, showers on the beach, all that sort of thing. If you're like me, that would do just fine. Otherwise, consider taking just the bare minimum in your backpack to have a nice shower at the location where you're going to be training. Or option C, embrace the sweat from that point back to your lodging. But in that circumstance, what I would advise is plan your activities around something that you're going to be doing at the end of the day. So plan your exercise around the last or the second to last activity of your day, or maybe just before dinner. So that way you go, you walk around all day, you enjoy it, and you're nice and clean. Then you go to your last activity, do it, go to the gym, get sweaty. Then you're going to go home before you go out to dinner, for example, or go to sleep, whatever it is. And that way you just have to endure that last commute being all sweaty, and then you can have a nice shower or bath at your hotel or Airbnb. Moving on, next piece of advice. You could consider trying new activities. For example, if you're going to Greece and you're an active person, what you could do, for example, is swimming. There are absolutely thousands of beaches in Greece. So, for example, if you do kickboxing and you want to get your cardio maintenance done, swimming might be actually an excellent sport. So you can enjoy the sun, enjoy the Greek amazing sea, and you can still get your cardio in and improve your swimming technique and get better at a different sport. Now that's just a single example, but there are many others. For example, if you come to Portugal, where I live, in Cascais specifically, you've got some very nice mountains and you can do some really cool rock climbing. So if you've never done rock climbing, you can maybe consider doing a class here. And trust me guys, it can be really physically demanding. So these are just some ideas. Try something new. Alternatively, you can consider doing several different things. For example, if you just like being active in general, you can, for example, one day pay for a day pass at a gym, on another day pay for a day pass at a swimming center, on another day rent a bike, and then you're still active during the holidays, you're still burning some calories, getting the muscles moving, but you're not sticking to your routine entirely. But I can assure you, you're going to feel much better than if you did absolutely nothing at all. Then we have a few different options if you're not actually willing to or not able to find any centers where you can actually do an activity. And this is, consider doing outdoors free activities. There are not that many, but to name a few, we have swimming, running, walking, and bouldering. Bouldering is maybe the riskier one because you do need a bit of equipment, you do need a mattress or something so that you don't hurt yourself when bouldering, and the places to do that can be a bit remote. But if you search for Facebook communities, for example, Facebook groups that do bouldering in the place that you are visiting, maybe you can just meet up with the people, take your rock climbing shoes, and that way you can enjoy the activity for free while using their mattress. That would be a way to go. As opposed to, for example, walking, running, swimming, you can do for free in most places. You can swim in lakes, much like I did in Hampstead Heath in London. Yes, I open swam in London, if you can believe that. Or you can go running literally anywhere in the world. You can walk literally anywhere in the world. And that's also going to be a great way to sightsee. One thing that's very important about these free activities is that most likely you're going to experience the places which you are visiting as more of a local and not as much of a tourist, because you're actually going to do activities that the locals do and you're just going to see a whole different perspective. And trust me, that is something very interesting, and it's a whole different way to travel and experience the culture of where you're visiting. Last but definitely not least is try to think about transport as a way to exercise. Now, you can do it for free, obviously, and the main way will be walking. You can walk literally anywhere. You can do long walks. Just like my previous point, if you consider walking exercising, if you consider walking your transport, you're going to discover many more places that you would not have if you took the bus or the subway or whatever it is. You're going to see many places which are not as touristic, not as agitated, and which you most likely would never see in your life. So think about it as an investment of your time in discovering the culture of the place which you are visiting even further. Now, the bike is actually a very interesting idea in a lot of places. Most European cities are very, very bike friendly, and you can easily find both bikes and e-bikes very easily accessible to rent and also to ride around the cities. This gives you two things. It gives you exercise, and it also gives you quite a lot of speed when compared to walking. So honestly, between the two, if you actually want to get things done and keep a pace going, biking might be the best way for you to get around and still get some exercise in. Finally, if you really want to prioritize sticking to an exercise routine when you're on holiday, I would suggest not only planning the locations, but also planning your schedule. Be realistic about the exercise that you're going to be able to fit in coordinates with the rest of your schedule. So for example, let's imagine you're visiting Athens. I keep going back to Greece because, just like I said, it's a place that I absolutely love. And you want to go to Athens and you want to see the Acropolis. And you want to see the Acropolis before there are that many crowds. So what do you need to understand? You need to understand what time the Acropolis opens, what time you're going to be able to wake up, and then figure out if there's a gym or activity which is going to be open between your waking up time and the opening time, so that you can get a quick session in right close to your hotel or Airbnb or whatever it is. So that way you can start your day with the exercise, clear that out of the way, and then enjoy the rest of the day. This is just an example. Another thing that you can do, which I actually do a lot, is go and watch the sunrise. We were just in Madeira Island in Portugal. It's one of the two main groups of islands off the coast of Portugal, Madeira and Azores, and we went to watch the sunrise from Pico do Arieiro. And so you wake up extra early when you go and watch the sunrise. So we did that, and then we went to have breakfast. So you can actually do an activity, go back, have breakfast, and then do your workout if you plan this all accordingly, and then get on with the rest of your day. So it really just is a matter of planning out how you prefer to work out, how you prefer to manage your traveling schedule, and I'm sure you're going to be able to fit in a few sessions. And believe me, in 1 week, even if you do just one training session, one exercise session, you're going to feel 1,000 times better. For example, once again, going back to Greece, I went to Greece for the last time in 2022 in September, and I absolutely loved the trip. We went to Athens, Crete, and Santorini. Unfortunately, I did not plan to work out, and this was not a priority, and we didn't really stay in accommodation which had gyms. I thoroughly enjoyed all of my days, but there really was something missing, and when I got back home, I was really fiending for the gym in my case, but really any exercise that I could have done would have been much appreciated. Another piece of advice, search for accommodation with a gym. A lot of hotels have gyms, a lot of hotels have pools, so take advantage of this. Maybe you're going to be paying 30 or 40 euros extra for your whole trip, but you'll have a way to exercise literally without any commute. It won't give you any excuses to not stick to your routine. That is maybe the most efficient way to travel around and stick to your routine, but it could also be costly. I don't know, it's going to depend on where you're going and the type of travel that you like to do. Bear that in mind. And that is it from me, guys. I really hope that this video was not only informative, which I hope it was, but also motivated you to stick to your goals all year long. Because trust me, going off a routine and then coming back usually is much harder. If you stick to something, even if it is not as consistently as you would like to, for the whole year, it's going to be much easier to maintain that rhythm than if you stop completely and then have to get back into the rhythm. I hope you liked this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did. Please give it a thumbs down if you didn't. That doesn't really matter. All that matters is the interaction, but most of all, what matters is that you enjoyed it. So please consider subscribing to my channel. We're all about travel and fitness here. And also, I would love to know your comments about your travel and fitness experiences in the comments section. That is all from me. I will see you in the next one.